Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Irongeek Cast number 159. Sit back, relax, and have a Corona. Maybe we should have added the extra title with a side of Lyme disease. How's everyone doing tonight?
I'm doing well. How you doing, Iron Geek?
Over to my stock, S&P 500 stocks, I'm doing okay.
Yeah, stock market's crashing, but I was able to buy some Bitcoin on the cheap. So
I feel a little sick myself, but I don't think it's Corona. I think it's just old age and laziness.
So I actually have a little funny thing about the stock market. I have only ever set up tracking of one stock, and it was Costco, because I used to work for Costco way back when. And when you're an employee there, even if you're part-time, you have a 401k.
When you're way back when, it's like 2 years ago.
No, it was
when you were 12.
No, 5 years ago.
Oh my gosh, you were like 8.
No, he was 6.
Yeah, remember that child labor thing was around that time?
Oh,
And
you're
I'm
the reason why
not-
they enacted that. Thanks
I'm
a lot, Caprico.
I'm actually not joking. When I was working there, they were having a lot of child labor stories hit about some of their products that they were making. Anyways, Costco stock jumped 10 points in the past week. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, my saying they carry a certain line of emergency preparedness kits that sold out.
Yeah.
I have never seen an emergency preparedness kit, and I've shopped there for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
The things that they were restricting was toiletries, paper towels, bottled water were the main ones, and they pulled all of the, the people who put out samples.
Yeah.
So all the samples were pulled, which was weird.
Caprico just shared something I shared on
with their hands. So
the Terminator hunting down this little anime girl.
Oh yeah, hang on.
People with unwiped butts and people who bought all the toilet paper.
Here, I'll show it real quick.
It's good shit.
There's a reason why I bought a case of it last week, because A, we needed it, but also I needed to get enough to last for a couple weeks because I knew this would be a shortage.
Oh, I saw that on Facebook. Was that on your Facebook, Adrian?
I probably shared it, yes.
It was on just on my Twitter feed. I thought it was funny.
Nobody follows your Twitter feed.
No, that's fine actually.
There's another great one that was like girls who like perverted memes on Facebook. Men who are following them around. I can't remember what it was. I shared it with my friend Samantha. That's a different story, though.
Yeah, that one was interesting too. But yeah, the whole Costco. And Costco was full. I have never seen so many people at a Costco in my life. It was crazy, and I was going in because we were out of dog food, and it's like regular stuff, and it's like, oh my gosh, you people suck.
Justification not to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, gyms are, unless it's a really good gym where the employees actually go through and wipe down equipment, gyms are just cesspools for bacteria.
Yeah, I've heard of some people getting it wasn't COVID-19, but it was streptococcus. What was it? Something like that.
Staph infections are the thing.
Yeah, staph and strep, you'll get those more readily because those things are viral shit.
And actually, I had no excuse because I actually have gym equipment at home. Believe it or not, I can do bench press, overhead lifts. I can do squats of various types.
That's really nice that Jim lets you keep his equipment there.
No, I just. My old roommate seemed to like it though. He was big into fitness. He's now recently left South Korea and is now living in Peru apparently.
Oh, really?
Well, he's how do I put it this way? He's a nice guy. All right, so what I'm about to say sounds so mean, but he's very hardworking when it comes to physical fitness because he's like 48, but he looks 28.
Yeah.
And he actually can pull off the gigolo thing, but he doesn't seem to want to hold down a day job.
Huh. Now, is he American or Peruvian or?
No, he's American. He was born in Kentucky, to my knowledge.
Oh, really?
All right, my buddy, and Dave, I love you if you hear this. I'm not trying to talk shit about you, but some of the shit's funny. He married a woman who lived in Denmark. Unfortunately, they divorced, and he lived in the country illegally for a couple years.
Oh,
He
yeah, this story.
accident and got stabbed. Went to the hospital. That made people start to pick up on his tracks, and they deported his ass to Kentucky. He lived with me for a couple of years, and he got good at dumpster diving and finding food and doing all sorts of stuff to make it by. And he was
Hope he didn't cook for you too often with that dumpster dive.
No, he did. No, occasionally he'd get into my hot sauce and make a mistake because I have some extremely bad hot sauce. There was one time apparently he got some of his fingers, went to piss, and for him.
Yeah,
Nice.
when I was at football camp when I was younger, I got a whole shit ton of icy hot, not knowing what it did, and smeared it all across my back. And then I went to go take a leak, and I was on fire both on my crotch and my back, and I just could not fucking move. I was screaming in pain.
Yeah, I think in Dave's case it was like his name was Dave, but I have something called Dave's and Sandy sauce.
Yeah,
around
that
the
stuff's
house,
good.
and you don't fuck around with that shit. That's some serious hot sauce.
Well, I think we have the solution, or at least a backup plan. We need to learn how to crochet.
You mean you don't know how to crochet?
No, I do not.
You need to learn how to crochet.
Apparently, I do.
I hear knitting circles are very political. Then again, crocheting is not quite the same as knitting, isn't it? Or is it?
They are two different
comment
things.
section. It's better. Whatever.
I think,
Check it.
yeah, I mean, they're different, but I think a lot of the people who crochet knit, but not necessarily the people who knit crochet, because I think knitting is kind of the entryway into crocheting. I believe crocheting is supposed to be more difficult.
Oh.
I think.
Other way around.
And Cameron are in the chat. How y'all doing?
Oh,
They're
crap.
very fascinated hearing about knitting and crocheting. That's
Right.
exactly why they tuned into a security podcast.
Welcome to the Irongeek Cast. Yeah, it's a security podcast. What's the difference between knitting and crocheting?
I know. I can see Cameron sitting there knitting a nice little throat, like a little what do they call it, Afghan or something. I can see him doing that.
Chili Chill. I like that name, Chili Chill.
Right. I
Over,
hope it's not
over
my
in
boss.
YouTube land too.
Actually, Jill, I hope you're not my boss. Okay.
Chili right now is sniffing their neighbor's WPA2. You know, just make sure you keep that PG. Watch out what you're sniffing.
You got to capture those interesting packets.
We have been talking about coronavirus, so be careful. What you sniff.
I have a boss who apparently really likes Chili Willy the Penguin, which shows my brother for that matter.
I did too.
A lot of
growing
people
up.
like penguins.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be getting for my boys all the Chili Willy episodes. I'm trying to find like all the stuff that I liked and was good as a kid, so that they can be able to watch that and everything too.
Yeah, it's been. I don't even remember what a single plot of a Chili Willy episode, but I remember watching it as a kid.
Yeah,
Some of the cartoons I used to watch as a kid, I don't think they're even around anymore. Like some of the Looney Tunes stuff, for political correctness reasons, probably can't be shown today. But
Yeah, you got to go find torrents of that shit and just watch it on your own.
there was one great Looney
Correct.
Tunes one where it's talking in the far-flung future of beyond 1950, beyond 1960. It was, and I can't remember when it set. When was that frog timeline set? You know the frog I'm talking about. Hello,
Racist frog?
hello, my darling.
yeah, the one who used to like sing and stuff with the top hat.
Yes. Oh
Um,
yeah, this is supposedly an InfoSec podcast, but this is fun.
we'll get to the InfoSec stuff. Yeah,
How's you doing? I don't know if everybody gave the how you've been doing this week intro.
I've been doing well. My wife is currently at the dentist, so I was watching my son, but he disappeared, so I guess he's upstairs now.
I'm sure he's okay.
What's the other one?
My mother-in-law's here, so yeah.
Who bolded some of the names but didn't bold all the names? I'm confused. I'm looking at the show notes. Never mind. Off topic. You can continue.
But yeah, I mean, it's been a pretty good week. Work has slowed to a level this week that is attainable, which is nice, because here the last couple months have been crazy. So
Yeah. I don't work with them at all.
yeah, but I think coronavirus is starting to have more wide-reaching effects. You know, people staying from home from work, people
Definitely.
working remote,
Yep.
businesses in some cities not necessarily being open. So even from a, you know, even though you're not directly affected, in some way, I'm sure you're affected in some way that you may not even be aware of currently.
Yeah, we had. I've had 2 IRs. Just finished up one today. So yay! They said great job. And one of them started Monday, and they were having all these issues, and they were trying to figure out how to keep their VPN up because they have put in a work from home policy for coronavirus specifically. They're trying to mitigate that because, you know, offices are huge or large
Yeah,
large congregations of people.
they're breeding grounds for it, right?
And
Yeah.
recirculated air.
What was it? I think Citigroup or Ameriprise around here, they were actually doing a bunch of load testing on their VPN concentrators like Monday to anticipate it. So they were making sure that, you know, should a full policy that be necessary, they could support it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I canceled my travel because I was going to be in like epicenter of everything that's going on in California today, and I ended up canceling because I'm like, I don't want to, you know.
Oh, I mean, you can reinstate that. Let me find it real quick. I had a hazmat suit that I was getting ready to order and ship you, so I'll go ahead and do that. So you'll still be good to go.
All right, perfect. Just walking, not the strangest thing to happen at LAX for sure, though.
Well,
I would love to see you on a physical pen test in a hazmat suit.
Dude, you have no idea. All right.
So you mentioned California. Yeah, we actually had a confirmed case over in Frisco, which is near Dallas, and they came from California, and we have now another positive case in Fort Worth from a person in contact with them. So yeah, it's here.
Yeah, we've got one confirmed case here in Kansas now. So yeah, but it's like the closest one's like an hour away from me. And then the other one that was just confirmed was in Topeka, which is about a 2 or 3 hour drive.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, the one that close to me is like 20 minutes away, if that. So it's here.
Yeah, it's in the Midland now. So almost made the title of the podcast. We're fucked.
We're fucked. Run away.
By the way, Mission Big Frog is apparently based on a maybe based on this horned lizard or something that was found supposedly in the cornerstone of a courthouse that was torn down. It was built in the 1800s, but apparently it tore it down in like 1929, and supposedly the lizard had been in there asleep for 39 years or so. But other people are saying that's a hoax. Total side stray. Sorry. Continue.
Lizards. Sleeping lizard. Let sleeping lizards lie.
Well, our local lizard is not on the cast right now, so I figured we need to inject some lizard into this cast.
I think we should call him the Lot Lizard. No, that would be bad.
He has a lot less meth sores than a lot lizard does.
That is true.
Chili, the apocalypse is dank. Yes, it is.
By the way, everybody knows what a lot lizard is, right?
No.
Oh,
You
really?
know what a lot lizard is. It's a prostitute that frequents truck stops.
Yes.
Sometimes a parking lot, so lot lizard.
And I know a lot of truckers, so I've heard quite a bit over the years.
I had a buddy in college named Basil, and he worked at like I think Love's gas station, and someone said he was a lot lizard. I was like, probably not, but.
And any job that a Basil has outside of being a butler is the wrong job. Basil should always be a butler.
Welcome to this Irongeek Security Podcast.
you guys
Jeez.
might like this. Over here on Long Island, we had a 7-Eleven that was selling its own homemade hand sanitizer, and some kids bought it, and they got chemical burns up and down their arms and legs.
Ah, no.
I did see something about that. Yeah,
That
interesting.
together a high strength bleach, or what did they use?
They used a mixture of cleaning chemicals that were found in the 7-Eleven aisles.
Bleach.
Nice.
It's just straight bleach.
I'm fairly young, so I'm not too worried about the coronavirus. But yeah, some of our,
Oh, one last thing about Corona, at least for me. 3 people who attended RSA. Now, they have not been
Mhm.
able to 100% say they got it or it was transmitted at RSA, but 3 people who were at RSA.
3
have
people
been
who were at a
diagnosed.
security conference happened to catch it. We can't say which security conference, other than
It's RSA.
it was.
Well, I mean, we can say RSA, whenever they released it on their site, we're aware of 2, and there's been at least one more I know of since then. But the one guy, good night, it hit his immune system. He ended up getting pneumonia, and I mean, he's not doing great. So
yeah. BLM Woodridge on the chat is saying that some people it's having a long term effect on the lungs. Like you might recover from it, but it may cause permanent injury to the lungs.
Your heart too. It also weakens your heart muscles, so you have more susceptible to die from other things too. Plus, since it is respiratory, you do have a chance of catching pneumonia, which may kill you.
Yeah.
Because of it.
but
Love
that
him.
guy is 45, so that's
He's like ancient.
yeah.
Wait,
to
I'm
some
45.
people, yeah. So I'm not there or quite there. Adrian is there.
You
So
want me to just give you a
I'm-
knife at this point?
I'm older
Keep
than
stabbing me.
great granddaddy.
the founder of Caprico's Nation. Okay, do we hit everybody on how their week's been?
My week was good. I got to work from home because
Oh,
they're
good.
afraid people will catch coronavirus.
My work has told me the same thing about not coming in next Monday and just work from home.
They told me I can go in if I want to, but I mean, if I have the option to work from home, I'm going to work from home.
I mean, if you want to die.
No, I bet I save money on Uber. I don't have to eat out. It's nice.
Are you in that situation where it's cheaper to Uber to work than it is to have a car?
Yep.
I should look at that. Because I'm like 10 minutes from work.
Yeah, but you already have a car.
Yeah, might as well use it. It's a fun car.
Yeah.
There are a bunch of clowns in it.
No. Do
Ver-
you think with my height that we could fit clowns in that car? Jeez.
Very
You know what I'm
tiny
saying?
clowns.
200 people reported dead in Italy. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were saying reported, or she reporting dead into work today. Oh, no, okay. That's not good. Italy is apparently having a bad outbreak.
Yeah, Italy and Rochester, New York.
And Iran.
LAX. The British Minister of Health confirmed to was confirmed to have coronavirus. Actually, welcome to the current event part of the podcast. This is usually where we start talking about stupid shit.
This is
Stupid shit. Well, we have some announcements.
Yeah, coronavirus. Here we go.
If you go to who'syourhacker.com, you can put into the CFP, and we should have the speaker list that we currently have up shortly. I just need to look at it and approve it. Becky's been doing a lot of good work on that, and Scott and Ed are my co-conspirators.
Yeah, coronavirus. Health Minister Nadine Dorries tests positive, and she's the health minister for the DHS she's the UK health secretary or whatever.
Interesting.
There are actually scams online about coronavirus now, which I just find really
Oh, yeah.
opportunistic and pretty sad.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, I mean, they do that though with phishing and scams all the time. right? If there's something that people are scared or fearful of, or is kind of an unknown, they're going to prey on that. They're going to attack those who are vulnerable to it. Just preying on people's fears.
Well, think about it right now. Let's talk about like social engineering is just either playing on someone's behavior, and there's two ways that you can do that. You can either instill fear, or you get them to help you.
Is it better to be loved or to be feared?
Your results may vary depending on who you are.
Better to be feared than to be hated.
Yes, and if the reaction lasts for more than 2 hours, consult your physician.
4 hours.
Oh, I'm sorry.
2 hours is fine.
I forgot you had the personal experience.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm like 5. Yeah, let's go with that. Anyway, but think of like right now, it's tax season. What's the easiest like bare bones phishing campaign that you can do? Hey, your tax refund. Like, get this huge tax refund, give us your information. Hey, the IRS is saying your taxes have already been filed. Did you actually file them?
Mm-hmm.
Click.
Like, yeah, click. Like,
We used to have great success when I was a full-time pen tester. We used to have good success with like HIPAA notifications.
oh yeah, I mean, you gotta play your target. I'm like, but if you want to like broad strokes, everyone, at least in the U.S., has to go through the IRS at some point. You get something from the IRS, it's super scary. If you're Italian, though, you really don't care because you're already dodging taxes anyway. I'm not even kidding. When your former prime minister goes on national TV to say, stop it.
Oh, you mean like real Italians in Italy, not like Italians living in the U.S. who are participating in tax evasion. Okay, good.
No.
I just
I'm
want
talking
to
about, like,
clarify that. Since we could have, Italians in the U.S. listening to a security podcast, actively paying their taxes.
Of the 12 people watching right now, who's Italian?
It's me, Mario.
Please don't. That's mean. What I said was like, it's not wrong.
Yes. Italians living in Italy.
Not people from Jersey. Okay. Man. Also, Boris Johnson, who, if you are not aware of national politics or international politics, is the Prime Minister of the UK. Apparently, the Health Minister came into contact with Boris Johnson.
Awesome.
So
And like 6 people who have had contact with Trump now are in self-quarantine.
Can we just...
But that's not due to coronavirus. That's just personal reasons.
Yeah, exactly. Just want a week off.
Are you denying the power of orange fever?
they're looking at their hands and it just starts turning orange. And
That would be awesome.
God, like 20 years from now, that's going to be an SNL skit. Or 5, or 1. I don't know.
I don't know. I think turning orange could be like a superhuman thing.
You die from it.
It's a superpower, and it's like
I mean, definitely not like a Superman, but super.
Like, aren't you glad you have this power?
Oh, so you're able to have like Monty Python based humor. Like you can work in puns and rhymes all day long.
That's all I'm good for.
But you have to join the League of Unordinary Walking or whatever it was.
Oh, the funny walking stuff.
Yeah, the Funny Walking Society.
Yeah.
Oh, Jack dropped off the chat. Man, we love you, Jack. Come back.
Jack!
Trump is just trying to cleanse the White House. Burn it in holy origins. Oh, man.
All right, maybe we should actually get into the show notes. What do you think?
Yeah, let's talk about something that's mildly less depressing.
Yeah,
Welcome.
breaches.
Yeah.
Breaches and ransomware. I combined them.
Wait, Irongeek is a golden god among men. Who put that there?
It wasn't me,
It was me.
Yeah, okay.
but I love you too, and I mostly head your way.
And that's,
Mostly.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
I'm leaving my options open at this point. I like women, but, opportunities is,
opportunities are fleeting.
If you're desperate enough.
When you're offered dessert.
When in prison.
All right.
But yes, I was just going to point out ransomware hitting an organization is a breach, just so we don't confuse anybody.
Yeah, it's a breach of security. Someone
Yes.
should not be able to run their own code unauthorized on your system, which is a breach.
Correct. Okay, what's up first?
So this first one it's not a breach. It's just that somebody else has all your data. So this is an article by Sophos, Naked Security here, and it's about the Virgin Media breach, and the way they write it's just funny. So I enjoyed it. So Turgensec is the company that alerted Virgin Media that they had breached information, or at least they inadvertently disclosed a database. So this happens every now and then. Now,
so they leak. No, it's not every now and then. It's on a daily basis. So
Dude,
they leaked the database though.
Yeah.
it was an S3 bucket, I believe, but it
Okay.
doesn't say in this article. But essentially, they came across the data and they let them know. They told them the fields in the database that were accessible. They didn't tell them the data because you don't want to actually say, "Hey, I'm reading all your data. You shouldn't be reading." So they copied the data, uploaded to a cloud service that isn't properly secured. Anyway.
How much do I want to bet that I know who wrote the tool that they used?
Okay.
So you have a leaky bucket. We're going to copy the data from your leaky bucket and put it in another leaky bucket.
That's the way it goes.
That's pretty awesome. That's
Nice.
very, very irresponsible.
So they're saying this was not a cyber attack. No, our database was not hacked. Certain sources are referring to this as a data breach. The precise situation is
That is appropriate.
is that information stored on one of our databases has been accessed without permission. This incident did not occur due to a hack, but as a result of the database being incorrectly configured. That is so much better than being hacked.
Sorry, leak is leak is a breach.
Leak is a breach. General incompetence usually leads to a breach.
Wow.
Okay, dude. Like
Data being stolen is a breach.
that.
Wow.
That is literally you let your marketing team write that. Oh
Yeah.
my god, that CISO's hair is on fire right now. He's probably so fucking mad right now.
So Turgensec published a list of the field names, the database columns that appeared in the exposed data. Although not every field contained the data for every user, these fields include name, email address, home address, phone number, and date of birth.
I've actually got all of them right here. So if you click on their report, you have account UID, account number, area code, address lines 1 through 5, channel title, first name, last name, date of birth, email address, phone number, mobile phone number, postcode, alternative contact number, lost date time, IMEI number.
Oh, that's a good one.
Nice.
Date timestamp, IP address, accept terms, friends first.
No, change all those over to no's. They do not accept
hold
the
up.
terms.
Hold up. Friend's first name, friend's last name, friend's email, friend's contact number, message to a friend, is email sent, promo code, date stamp.
Now,
email
are we
address,
talking
report.
like individuals we personally know or like friends of TV show?
Dude,
Because I could probably almost fill out most of that with Friends, the TV show too.
Yeah, I don't get it. Refer, product holding, TV tier, tel tier, BB tier, cell code, campaign code, offer type, registration state, device type, Sky Movies flag, Sky Sports flag, and Sky Premium flag. I mean, if you want to just F with their DRM, just set all of those to true, because that's their streaming service to phones, I think. Wait, is this Virgin Media or Virgin Mobile? Virgin
Media.
Okay. Yeah, you want to screw with their DRM, just go set all of those to true, and they're going to lose a lot of money and also have a lot of pissed off customers. So
That's really the end goal of hacking, is to piss off a lot of people.
Yeah, but remember too, they weren't breached. So yeah,
It wasn't a breach. It was a misconfiguration that allowed people access to their systems.
yeah, that's where people are stupid.
Yes, but I just felt that was a very interesting article, the way it was written.
yeah,
there.
I'm going to add this to the show notes real quick here.
Okay. And the other one, essentially the second article is the same shit. It's 900,000 people could have been affected in Virgin Media data breach, and he's adding the Turgensec advisory.
Turgensec or just Turgensec?
I don't know what the hell it is. I thought it was Turgensec, but I'm probably wrong.
It's just it's Turg and Sec, yeah. So there's their advisory. If you want to follow along in the show notes with what we're looking at, this is not a huge time frame plan, but it's in the description of the stream. Yeah, that's not good. All right.
Yeah, so the next data breach we have is a Trident Crypto Fund. Now, they are an index fund, and they deal in cryptocurrency. And their personal data of 266,000 registered members was leaked in a database leak.
Okay. I will let you continue because I have a question, but you might answer it.
Ask your question.
No, I just pulled up the article. I know the answer now. I was going to say, were they encrypted? And
No, they got the encrypted passwords, so they were encrypted, but they don't say how they are encrypted. So it could have just been MD5,
base 64.
base 64, some bullshit.
So again, it was probably a leaky database.
Yeah, no indication of if it's they're salted or not. None of that good shit.
Because if they actually got on the server that it was being stored on, they should have been able to dump the memory and actually get the keys out of memory.
Well, that would be a pretty sophisticated attacker there, not just a script kiddie.
Yeah. I mean, script kiddies normally aren't going to be able to just straight up get keys out, but it's not a crazy advanced attacker either to be able to get keys out of the memory.
All right. Well, regardless.
The thing I wonder about, this apparently Russian citizens might have already got their data leak before, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Because I'm curious to see in the future things like this, because I'm sure this isn't like if somebody's making money on it, that they're declaring it to the IRS. As cryptocurrency gains more popularity, I mean, it's popular within, certain communities, but not like widely embraced by everybody, right? Like physical money or credit cards. So as it continues to grow, when will the IRS start and other country, tax agencies start trying to crack down more on that? Of not even talking like illegal dealings, just people making money at it and not paying taxes on it.
They already have something. It's if you make over $10,000 worth or $9,999.99 worth of cryptocurrency, you have to declare it as cryptocurrency earnings.
Yeah, but that's something you have to declare.
You have to declare it.
Here,
and
you have to declare if you bought cryptocurrency too on your taxes. So it's not even if you made money in cryptocurrency. If you just bought it, you have to declare it as a asset on your taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And then it partially comes down to what did you pay for it with?
Exactly.
And that's the big thing, because mining back in the day could have been very profitable. But whenever you were mining cryptocurrency, you weren't actually, you were utilizing electricity, but you weren't actually paying for it, right? With any type of traditional payment means.
Right.
So, yeah. You
Who's
have
got the
some.
cute kitty, and why am I not seeing it?
It's me. Netcat is trying to breach Windows.
Oh, there's the kitty.
Yeah. She's trying to breach Windows. You want
What
Yeah.
was her name? Netcat before she moved in?
No, that's her nickname.
Oh, okay.
Get through breach Windows. NC/something. I don't remember
E.
sorry. No, NCE/PowerShell.
That's
Go.
not a command. Damn it.
Go through. Go. Jump. She's real interested on what's outside.
Yeah, she seems real interested.
Yeah. What's up? Okay. You're just gonna sit there now?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, I know. We're talking about passwords being breached. So data stolen isn't just to passwords. It is also includes email addresses, cell phone numbers, encrypted passwords, and IP addresses. So have fun with that. Can you imagine it being, well, no. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's bad. Yeah, fine. Yes. All right. Let's see.
No, we got to get a mic on her.
Yeah, right. Well, she's right next to the mic.
I muted myself, but I heard a cat crying in the background and like, hello, kitty.
He's abusing that poor cat.
No, she's fine. She just wants me to open up the window again.
Pussy magnet.
Who's over there? All right. What we
She
got
sounds
next?
happy.
Yeah, that's not a happy meow. That's a what the fuck, dude.
Yeah, she's. What? You need pets? Yeah.
Getting ready to put her headband on and start doing some karate chops on you.
Welcome to the Meow Cast.
Right?
Wow.
Jesus Christ! I hear enough of that at home. Would you guys stop?
Sorry.
I have a dog and 2 cats. I hear enough of that shit.
All right. Continue on. I'm going to mute until I figure out what she
All right. So next we have J. Crew reveals a data breach. J. Crew, they make clothes, right?
Yes.
They do something like that.
Or at least sell them. I think they make them too, though.
Okay. So states that during routine web scanning, they discovered the email addresses and passwords were obtained by an unauthorized third party and used to log into the jcrew.com account in 2019. Sounds like a credential stuffing attack to me.
Or if they had, like a GitHub or something that they left hard-coded creds in and somebody was able to find them, then abuse them. So,
yeah.
Fun.
There's some good scripts searching GitHub for credentials.
Mm-hmm.
So the challenge is that this type of vulnerability is often considered low risk because it is up to the user to have a good password, change it regularly, include special characters, etc. In this case, it's easy to see that even though the user is bearing some responsibility, the system shouldn't be built in such a way that an attacker can test credentials and later construct an automated attack that is not noticed.
Yeah, essentially do a freaking password spray against everything. So
Exactly. No two-factor, I take it. It doesn't say anything about them having two-factor as an option.
assuming not.
Not many people are going to two-factor their account on some clothing store anyway.
Well, but it sounds like this was more of a administrator account, right? Not like you log into the site or I log in and buy something.
So I'm trying to figure that out because
the unauthorized.
Let me read the TechCrunch letter and see what it says.
Yeah, because like the unauthorized third party could have also accessed order numbers, shipping status, confirmation numbers. So it sounds like it was more like an administrative account
Gotcha.
than like a regular Joe Blow logging in or
Makes more sense.
or a J Crew logging in. Ooh.
Very good. Why did they take almost a year to detect and disclose the incident to regulators and customers? What is it? 8 months is the average to discover a data breach has happened?
Yeah, it used to be like 14, 15 months, and now we're down to 8. So
I know. It's almost like people don't have socks.
it's like people definitely don't have socks.
Get them underwear too. Get them at J Crew.
No, they've got those. They just end up being soiled by the end of it.
Oh,
So yeah, this was credential stuffing, because the TechCrunch article says so. And just like recently, Ring, Chipotle, and Spotify were hit with credential stuffing attacks, as well as Twitch, in the last year alone. So that's good shit.
that's right.
Next, thousands of Malaysian and Filipino credit card details leaked in a massive data breach comprised of 14 smaller breaches. This is like, how they have combo lists with passwords. I guess they combined a bunch of database leaks of credit card numbers into one big file, and they found the file.
A breach of breaches.
A mega breach. So I can't pronounce any of the names in this article, so I'm just going to say the guy. We reached out to the guy, CEO of Techniscant, I can't say it. For more information, based on the list of compromised bank information he sent, we have now attached a list of banks that issued the compromised credit cards. All right. So a startup in India recently discovered a massive data breach, hit credit card holders in at least 6 countries: Southeast Asia, Vietnam, the Philippines, Singapore, Indonesia, Thailand, and Malaysia. The information has been compromised, and it contains details such as the credit card number, first name, last name, CVV, and PIN. So with the CVV, you can make a nice little purchase online, wherever. So those 3 numbers on the back of the card. The cybersecurity expert says that about 37,000 credit cards have been hit in Malaysia, although the credit card holders in the Philippines are more affected, with about 172,000 breached. Dumped. Nothing in the article about how this happened, just that they found this data and they notified the credit card companies and the people. The banks in question are Maybank, CIMB, Hong Leong, Citibank, Public Bank, United Overseas Bank, HSBC, Anaba, RBH Bank, Alliance Bank Malaysia, Bank Islam, Standard Chartered Bank, Kyrgyzstan Rakyat, Ambank, and Bank Simplon Nacional. That's all I got. We're gonna end that there. That's plenty of information. You want to know more? Look at the show notes.
There you go.
Ransomware using .iqy files is hitting. Damn it! I'm hearing stuff now. Okay. So a ransomware campaign is essentially come back, and this time they're doing a clever new trick of having these IQY files attached to an email, or somehow getting somebody to click this kind of file, which happens to be an Office file. And when you run this file, it is able to reach out to a script and reach out to a server and pull down a PowerShell script, run that script. So it's just like as if it were executable, even though it's an IQY, which is not a very common file format. It's an Excel file format used to download data from the internet. Most organizations don't know about it, and they won't block it. Paradise Ransomware is the ransomware that's using this, and most security products don't know how to scan these files or parse them, so there's a good chance it's going to make it past the rudimentary defenses.
At least signature based.
Yeah.
you've got behavioral and heuristic stuff, it might catch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, silence.
Mm,
We all love silence. It's so good.
FYI, he is being sarcastic right now.
Am I though? No. So malware authors will often deploy malware that isn't quite ready for prime time yet. They want to see how successful the early versions of the campaign are and how detectable the malware is. This particular variant here is that it is not ready for production yet, so to speak. It is in testing. I guess the upside of that is that we can get the security companies to update their signatures and fix that shit before it becomes a really good attack vector being well used. Israel, what are your thoughts?
I agree. People need to update stuff and stop looking at signatures and hashes and actually look at real behavior. It's complete crap in today's day and age. We're using 1,000-year-old tech to try to detect advanced threats that signature and hash was never designed for.
Yeah, and funnily enough, I had to explain that to one of the IR clients that I had, because they did have signature based on a couple of really critical servers that got hit, sadly. And I had to explain to them, I was like, well, why didn't this get picked up? Like, why wasn't it even on like their, like they had behavioral stuff on some devices, and then they had just signature on some, where they had both on others. But the issue is that it's signature based, and I won't say what the product was because nope. But it wasn't able to pick it up, obviously, and it was able to run. And the issue is that they had like changed up like 2 or 3 things in the code, or they just changed the hash, because I was finding a different hash for the same file name that was linked to the same group. And yeah, it still got past it. So whatever that vendor is, there's obviously something wrong with how they've implemented it, but they're at least trying.
Yeah, and two, whenever I'm potentially Caprico 2, whenever I'm saying that, I'm not only talking antivirus or traditional antivirus. I'm also talking newer products, EDR products. The vast majority are still fully automated, which means they have to go to a signature and hash-based technique to be able to do their detections. They have to go off a high confidence, or else their customers would be getting just a shit ton of false positives all day long, and then they sell no product. So they have to have that compromise in there. The majority, not all, but the majority.
And this one had a machine learning aspect to it as well. Even with the machine learning, you can tell it. Machine learning is only going to know, especially in the terms of AV. It's only going to know what it's learned, and a lot of that is going to be hash-based stuff. And now my cat is knocking over shit. And from what I can tell, what the ML was trying to look at was it would look at the behavior of a file as a hash and try to match it to something else, which
yes,
I'm like,
a behavior that they have identified in the past.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, but isn't that still hash based though? I'm sure there's someone much smarter than me that will say otherwise.
If you throw some obfuscation in there they've never seen before,
exactly,
right past.
Exactly, and if a machine hasn't been trained, if we're to do that and to notice that, it's gonna go straight through.
Just add null byte to the end. It'll be fine.
Yeah. By the way, that's how you negate putting up malware onto Docker Hub. I am not kidding.
I wear my sunglasses at night so I can see.
Do you see what is happening outside right now?
You have blinds right there. Close them.
Yeah, it's either that or Darren drives all the way up from Dallas to here to punch me in the face.
For closing the blinds?
No, because of the cat.
Yeah. There she is.
Watch out. Caprico has reach on you.
That is true.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think he does. I don't think he does.
I don't,
Yeah.
are you like 6'8"?
Did you
I'm
break it?
6'2", but I got pretty long arms. So
Oh, okay.
if
Maybe.
he's got reach, he at most has an inch or two, which won't count for shit.
Yeah, I've got a 7-foot wingspan. All right, you done?
Holy crap.
Yeah, I've got 7-foot wingspan, but
By the
he
way,
still
I
can't
think my
dunk.
lockpicking video from
I
like
can dunk.
5 years ago got posted someplace because I'm.
Oh, look at those pretty eyes.
No,
Anyway,
I can dunk Israel.
Yes.
Okay, good. What about your lockpicking video, Adrian?
I keep getting shit comments on it. People whining about you should be ashamed of yourself for posting a video. Yeah, I pick locks badly in a fucking video. Why should I be ashamed? I think a certain little bitch in InfoSec, well, not even in InfoSec, posted in some place that I'm getting his mangina followers on my shit.
Is it a guy who specializes in picking locks?
Yes.
Okay. We're not going to.
Is he married to a man?
Continue
I mean, a woman who looks like a man.
on that topic, but we know who you're talking about.
All right, continue the cast.
Next up, what do we got? NetMe.
NetMe.
Nemty.
NetMe is the
NetMe.
latest ransomware that pulls this bullshit.
Nemty.
Where if you do not pay, they say they're going to publish your files and make you go through hell because screw you for getting infected. Doppelpalmer, Paymer, whatever the hell it is, or Sidenoki EB. I can't say these freaking names.
Soda no kibi.
Thank you.
Or
Revel, whatever. Freaking things. This is what they're doing now. They actually put up a site and they put up a 3.5 terabyte file and they say, this is your shit that we've got. You don't pay, we're going to release this.
Holy crap, 3.5.
3.5.
I misread that. Gigabyte, not terabyte.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Phew. I was going to be like, how long
Still
did
bad.
it take to exfiltrate 3.5 terabytes?
Yeah.
Damn.
Whoa.
That'd be neat though.
I mean, even if they just did like a file listing of like, here's all the files, like, pull on SharePoint, pull names of database, and things like that, that alone's got to be worth something. Because that most people put files, file names of, hey, Project X. It's like, what is Project X?
I could destroy a
Wolverine.
company's IP with just under 500 meg or like
Yeah.
200 meg. Let's go 200 meg. Give me 200 meg of limit to data exfil, and I will find something to destroy either your IP, your reputation, or whatever.
Yeah, you don't need to pull petabytes of data out to do that
No.
kind of damage.
No.
So even at 3 gigs, that's a lot of shit you can get out that way. That would be pretty hard to recover from, or at least give enough that it would significantly impact bottom line.
Now imagine those all being like text files of financial transactions with account numbers. Yeah.
Dump stuff out to CSV. Oh, there you go.
What was the vertical of this company?
The vertical is
like finance, manufacturing.
Like
what does this company do?
The one who was hit.
Yeah.
I assume you mean? Okay. They are a footwear company. They make shoes.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that ship that off to China, and there goes all your intellectual property.
Yeah.
Especially if it's new designs and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Cutting edge feet stuff.
I mean, 'cause especially, like some of these shoes, especially that like basketball players promote and things like that sell for crazy amounts of money. I mean, if you had that back end design on how to make that shoe, and where they're selling it for 150, and you can manufacture it for $15 and sell it for 100 and say 120, so $30 less than the high dollar, and have a perfect clone. That's going to happen.
Well, I mean, they do that anyway. Nike actually got into a little bit of a snafu back, I think it was like 2 years ago. They had this carbon fiber insole that actually acted as like a spring. So they would give it to all of their runners for races and marathons and whatever. and other companies eventually decided to do that, and to the point of like the sports, like national sport running BS committee or whatever, they actually put in actual bylaws to say that you cannot design a shoe that a runner can wear that is not mass produced and put out to consumers. So consumer has to be able to buy it, and also it has to be out for a certain amount of time. By the way, Nike still holds like the majority of that because they were first anyway.
Yeah.
So they had all the production, they had all the designs, they only had to tweak it. Everyone else had to go and do that. So shoe company losing a lot of this stuff, especially if they have like teams and runners and athletes that they sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're gonna be kind of screwed for a while. And there goes the cat.
Salut, au revoir, arrivederci, kitty cat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you should just put the cat on the cast, and we don't even need to talk. We just put the cat up for an hour and a half. We'll get a shit ton of viewers.
Okay, now Darren's gonna be driving up to New York.
Brass knuckles.
I'll fucking do it again.
All right, who put up the next one? The new RXX. I can't even say this. Sharma ransomware variant.
Sure.
God damn it! Can't you use American names for your ransomware?
No, that's Dharma. I think it's Dharma.
It says Sharma.
Okay.
You put Sharma there.
All right, let's take a look at this one here because I
That
have
shows
not.
Sharma and Greg.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Dharma.
Dharma. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who put this on here.
I did not put this there.
VirusTotal.com. So there's a link to the VirusTotal stuff on it. Ransomware.
Looks like a phishing campaign.
We're just going to look at the VirusTotal information. 63 out of 72 detected on VirusTotal, which is kind of sad if this is a new campaign.
Yeah. Looks like it is.
First spotted March 7th.
Yeah, it looks like this is a. The payload probably gets there via email.
It was compiled in 2017.
Yeah,
Wow.
but you can change that.
Yeah.
But it looks like what it does is gives you a reverse shell, registry actions. Yeah, it looks like it's just a shell. Like it just opens up a shell. So far.
Yeah, you got an executable that writes into administrator's documents and settings, at least on this sample, under a folder, a couple folders, and it looks like Chinese, money, doc, ID, backdata, Fox mail. Oh, it tries to send information to a Fox mail email, then a DLL is loaded. Then we got some JavaScript running.
Let's see. I'm pulling up VMRay's thing. All right, so here we go. Let's share my screen.
Copied.
VMray.
Sogou. Why do I know Sogou? SOGOU. Sogou Explorer. You guys heard of that?
Somewhat.
That sounds like something I messed with back in the day.
It rings a bell. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. So here we go. I'll actually make this a little bigger here. So here's what it does. If I can scroll left or right, that would be helpful, but I can't. All right, so on reboot, it goes and does this stuff. Opens up a bunch of command. Let's try just sequential.
Just run it on your box.
No.
Do it. It'll be fun for everyone.
No, just you. pulls down a lot of files.
That's a lot of shit.
This actually looks like ransomware. Did that tweet say ransomware?
Yes.
That tweet,
I
you have
think
to
somebody
scroll
or
up for
something.
2 or 3 days to get to the top.
Yeah, no, this is like a drop of, this is back. So this entire thread is just a bunch of emails and extensions to say, hey, this is the extension, this is the email that it's coming from, here's the virus total link. So actually pretty cool thread. So it looks like it, at least from these guys, when they ran it in their environment, just goes in, it appends the back data at foxmail.com to the file, and then the RXX extension. So it is ransomware. But I'm wondering if there's anything else. Auto reboot triggered, so it reboots your computer. And it works in Windows 10. That's cool. And yeah, so we'll go through and pretty much just encrypt these files. Pretty much any Windows file.
Oh, do any of you guys have experience setting up Cuckoo?
Like a Cuckoo sandbox?
Yep.
15 years ago.
Yeah. All right.
Where I was actually 5.
Now I have to set one up at work, and it's gonna be a pain in my ass because I have to do it on ESX, and it's not gonna be fun.
I mean, just do they have a precompiled system you can throw out there, or are you building up a Linux host or?
It's building up the Linux host and the Windows VMs, and then installing the Python and all that shit on the Windows VMs.
Okay.
Essentially, the hard part is just getting the API working right, from what I see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
looks like it's doing a bunch of regex checks and BSSA admin.
Now I can't guarantee this, but I'm throwing it over into the chat here.
Grabs NT.
This should be it on any run. The hash matches, but I'm not necessarily seeing all the exact same information I saw on any run as I saw on virus total. So same
actually
hash. As I'm not seeing, no DNS requests, no outbound connections. So all of that could have just been fluff filler, while it's doing all the other stuff here.
Well, it looks like it's doing the same thing. So it's going and deleting shadow copies using BSSA admin. Goes in again, quietly does it, but it doesn't look like it's actually doing anything other than that. It's just creating that. That's so weird to me, though. Hang on, let's see what's going on here. Executed Windows service. I mean, this is running on Windows 7, so it might not be.
Yeah, it could be different
could be just
between the OS versions too.
Yeah, it could be tailored to. I don't have an account yet. I need to get an account on here. Show only important. No, go away. Come on. All right. Mode VSS admin. Mode CP select. 125.1. Yeah, it just runs and deletes shadows constantly. Oh, it might have a kill switch for VMs.
I could.
So then it will just try and delete the file, and there's a ntdll call here.
And just for anybody who doesn't know, there are a lot of malware groups now, malware campaigns, that will have a VM kill switch. So they'll scan the process, scan the services, see if there's any indicator that they're in a sandbox and or being debugged. And if their startup task, they come to the decision that they are being debugged or in a sandbox, they'll just shut down and never fully detonate the payload. So that could be the case here.
This almost looks like broken code.
That's pretty common for a lot of malware in the last 5 to 6 years. They've started doing that because they want to avoid detection, avoid, being reverse engineered, etc.
Mode.com. Huh.
Hey, Dr. AMG. Good to see you back.
I don't know. I'll have to dig into that one a bit more because, I don't know. What's up?
You must know. You have to know.
I didn't say I wouldn't find out. Do check out that thread, especially if you've gotten hit. Which it seems like there's a lot of active attacks going on right now. So
I wonder if anybody hacks places they don't like and then just drops other people's ransomware.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah, that's called Russia. Okay.
That's called attribution hacking.
What is next?
What's next?
Info, data, stats, and why do we have softcore porn?
Just in case, you want to throw a link up.
After last week.
Interesting. Okay. Health providers lose an average of 2.75 million per data breach. Yes.
Cool.
Nice. All right. So more than half of healthcare vendors have suffered a breach of protected healthcare information belonging to the patients of the healthcare providers they serve. And new research shows that on average, a breach exposes about 10,000 patient records and inflicts about 2.75 million in damages. The article goes on, but it gets pretty boring.
Not necessarily. That's total recovery cost, right?
I believe so.
Okay.
So it talks about how 54% of healthcare vendors also believe that a single data breach would cost them business and revenue from the healthcare providers they sell to, according to Ponemon Institute research, who carried out on behalf of Cesanet between healthcare providers and their vendors. The bill associated would be a breach would be approximately 2.75 mil.
Yeah.
Yeah. 28% of vendors say healthcare organizations have chosen another service or solution after discovering gaps in their security. Essentially, I would too.
Yep.
I wouldn't want somebody who's got shitty security to handle my data. It's just common sense.
There you go. Or anything else on a body.
In 2018, for the 8th year in a row, healthcare organizations incurred costs and some of the highest costs from data breaches, costing them on average $408 per stolen record. A report published by IBM in August of 2018 found that data breaches in healthcare were nearly 3 times higher compared to other industries.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of money. But why didn't HIPAA protect us?
No, no. Compliance is not security. Never. Anybody listening try to equate them in the same playing field. But $400 per record, that definitely is high.
A lot of money.
Yeah,
I'm looking up the HIPAA thing right now because there was a HIPAA table a while back, and last time I looked at it, and granted this was like 4 years ago now.
Yeah.
Fine per record. There we go. So I don't know if these are going to be updated. All right, yep. So It's a tier-based system, so if you're in the first tier, the covered entity did not know and could not reasonably have known of the breach. It's $100 to $50,000 per incident, up to $1.5 million.
Oh, the actual fine, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So for like penalties, which you have to put into the context of if it's a healthcare facility or a healthcare provider, they need to be HIPAA compliant to conduct business. If they're not, well, then that's a little shady. So
Nah, it's okay. I get all my spleens and livers down in Mexico. I'm sure they're HIPAA compliant.
to put this in perspective, I think we've talked about a couple of these on the podcast, but last year, so Cottage Health, $3 million in a total fine for potential HIPAA violation of HIPAA rules. Touchstone Medical Imaging, Tennessee Diagnostic Medical Imaging Services company pays $3 million to settle breach exposing over 300,000 patient protected health information. So that is $10 per record. Indiana Medical Records pays $100,000 to settle HIPAA breach. $10,000 to a dental facility for protected health information, probably like 100-ish records. Failure to encrypt mobile devices leads to a $3 million HIPAA settlement. So they lawyered up. The only one that I'm seeing here from 2020 is healthcare provider pays $100,000 settlement to OCR for failing to implement HIPAA security rule requirements. So even if you not even if you get breached, you're going to be paying to HIPAA.
Yeah.
They are stringent when it comes to hey, if you don't do this, you're kind of boned.
So you guys might like this. A few years ago, I was at my dentist's office, and I opened up ES File Explorer while on their Wi-Fi, and I saw an open file share on my phone, and I clicked into it, and no authentication was requested, and in it were all the files and folders for all the patients. It was great. Each patient had their own little folder, last name, comma, first name.
Yeah, that's not the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Again, lock your stuff down and segmentation. Segment, isolate the crap out of other devices. If you don't own it and you can't control it, it should not have access to anything internal to you.
Other day I was at a bar and I got the Wi-Fi password and I took over the Chromecasts to start playing what I wanted.
Ah, great.
That was fun. I put up Never Gonna Give You Up on both TVs at the same time.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Hey,
Okay.
could have been worse.
Yeah,
All right.
It could have.
We want to take Cathay Pacific or Human Error?
No, I don't have any clue. Cathay Pacific, fined €500,000 by UK ICO after brute force data breach. Didn't we talk about them a couple weeks ago?
I don't know.
I think we did.
Well, then we'll skip them because we don't care.
Yeah. From their data breach back in 2018.
All right, so they're skipped. We're going on to the next one. Human error accounts for 60% of security breaches.
And I'm assuming, obviously phishing is going to be a high statistic here, but I'm assuming, because I haven't read the article, that they're also including poor configurations and things like that, right?
Yes, they are.
Oh, okay, good. Because I would actually think that number would be much higher, but we'll see what the article says.
So this is based in the UK they're talking about here. So we're dealing with Brits, 3/5 of UK businesses have experienced a cyber attack and or breach caused by human error, knocking them out of action for days, according to new research by Gallagher. Not the guy with the watermelons and the sledgehammer, right?
Oh, that's unfortunate. That would have made this a much more fun talk.
Global insurance company polled 1,000 UK business leaders to find out more about their exposure to cyber risk. It revealed that as many as 3.5 million UK companies have suffered losses because of human error. Data loss and downtime were both flagged as potentially serious consequences of a cyber attack. Nearly a third said their business was knocked out for 4 to 5 days, while a similar number claimed the organization was disrupted for at least 3 days. Up to 14% of the incidents, customer data was stolen, potentially exposing these organizations to other risks and potential fines. On the plus side, business leaders are prioritizing steps to mitigate the insider threat. 71% said they worry about human error increasing cyber risk, and 64% claimed they regularly remind staff about such risks. A further fifth, 42%, have investigated an off-the-shelf package, and 39% in customized tools to help protect their business, yet 39% claim to have sought external advice on how to manage their cyber risk effectively. Those are lots of numbers.
Yes.
It doesn't help if your password is 1ABCDEF. Moving forward.
That's where 1ABCDEF came from.
Yep, it was from me.
No, somebody else today posted that, and I didn't get the reference, but now I get it.
You got it?
Yeah.
NSA Cyber Tools.
Yeah. Forgot about that.
The locker picking community is full of shit. There's a lot of disgusting motherfuckers.
Are you reading your comments?
Oh yeah, you on YouTube? I'm like, bitch. If you don't like it, move along. Yeah, I was shit picking some particular locks. Do better. You say you do better.
Well, you now need to share the link so that I can see what you're talking about.
Yes, and we will discuss this afterwards.
Why? We have rules for coyotes in North Indiana. Why can't we apply the same to male feminists? I don't understand what the difference is. Anyway, continue.
Next up, ransomware groups now use the same tools as nations. Oh, wait, did you just hit that? Or were we going to be moving into it?
It's fine. Let's move into it.
Okay.
Do you want to read this one?
No.
Okay, I got it then. All right. Backups are one of the most, if not most, important defenses against ransomware. But if not configured properly, attackers will use it against you. Recently, Doppelpalmer ransomware operators published on their leak site the admin username and password for non-paying victims' Veeam backup software. This was not meant to expose information to others for future attacks, and I'm not sure if I'm reading the right article here, but let's keep going. Operators had full access to their network, including backups. After seeing this information, I reached out to the operators of Doppelpalmer and Maze ransomware families to learn how they target victims' backups, and I was surprised what I learned. It should be noted in the article we will be focusing on Veeam backup software, not because it is less secure than other software, but because it is one of the most popular ones.
But it is because it has to run on Windows, so I just have to throw that out there.
Say that again about Windows?
That Veeam has to run on Windows. So right there, I'm automatically going to say that it is less secure.
Gotcha.
Yes.
What, it doesn't work in Wine?
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine that.
Imagine that nightmare.
That would suck. Wow. No.
All right. So attackers first use your cloud backups to steal your data. Once they gain access to a machine, they spread laterally throughout the network until they gain access to administrator credentials and the domain controller. Using tools such as Mimikatz, they proceed to dump credentials from Active Directory. According to Nero Consulting, an MSP, an IT consulting company based out of New York City who assisted me in this article, they could allow the attackers to gain access to backup software as some administrators configure Veeam to use Windows authentication. Once they access the Maze ransomware, yada, 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 backups encrypted, backups stolen, yada, yada, yada. The attackers are restoring directly from the cloud to their servers, so it won't raise any flags for the victim, as their servers appear to be operating normally and no data seems to be exfiltrated.
Wow, that's sneaky shit. They're doing exfiltration over the cloud versus on premise. Yeah, you won't see that. That's
Who does that?
damn. That's
Hey,
some skullduggery share there.
hey, it's over the fluffy, thank you. Oh, that's awesome.
So the Maze operators did not elaborate on how they gain an initial foothold into the network to gain access to the cloud credentials, but they said they use all possible methods. This could include keyloggers, phishing, or reading locally saved documentation on the backup servers. Deleting backups before ransomware attacks. Regardless of whether the backups are used to steal the data, before encrypting devices on the networks, the attackers will first delete the backups. Makes sense. You don't want them restoring their files. Cloud backups are a very good option against ransom, but do not 100% protect, as cloud backups are not always good configured, offline, often outdated, and the system backups is really nice, but human factor leaves out some options. The doppelpayer people told us by email.
Well, plus, if you do backups, how many people actually test them? Because if you back things up but you're not testing it, how good are your backups actually?
Yeah, I actually came across this pretty cool thing, Datto. They will restore your backup to a virtual machine so that you can continue to use it while you're recovering other shit. Like, say you have a hardware fault or something. So I thought that was pretty neat. Anyway, protect your backups.
And I didn't think I'd be saying this 5, 6, 7 years ago. Tape is still an option. So, not as a primary backup ever. No, don't do that.
3, 2, 1 rule.
As a secondary or a tertiary, tape is still an option.
Tertiary.
Sure, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, not even just for security, but just for disaster recovery. Because if your tape is off site, then if your facility burns down, you can still recover.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And some of them can hold quite a bit of data now. What are they up to? Like 6, 8 terabytes, I think, maybe.
Yeah, and there's nothing with even close to that data. I'd say data density with that affordable price.
Yeah.
All right. Now I'm going to read the article I should have been reading before because I clicked the wrong link. So, ransomware. These sophisticated attacks are delivering devastating payloads, warns Microsoft. This article is one I did not read, and I'm going to pretend that I did and be all confident and just skim it. Microsoft has detailed the tactics and techniques of some of the most costly ransomware in recent years. Based on their investigations, these campaigns appear unconcerned with stealth and have shown they could operate unfettered in networks. The ransomware variants included in the survey are Revil, Samas, Samsam, Doppelpaymer, Doppelbitpayer, Ryuk, and a whole bunch of other shit. Because the target selected and amounts demanded. Yeah. All right. So Microsoft has been monitoring another malware group it calls Parinokata. Why can't we use regular names?
I think we should start calling criminal gangs and these different groups something like Silly Billy Shammy Sham, Bodie McBoatface. Actually have fun names. That's going to piss them off.
Yeah.
Or have the community name the gang. That would be really fun. Just like they did with Bodie McBoatface. Have a name the gang and go from there.
So these guys essentially normally just installed crypto miners and shit like that. Did smash and grab. As of now, they're now doing ransomware as well. They usually do RDP brute forces to get into the network. By the way, if you're still having RDP exposed to the internet, you're just asking to get owned. It doesn't matter if you have a hard password. You're going to get owned. It's stupid. Don't do it. So using stolen credentials and also admin privileges to kill security services that could detect its actions is common. This group has a zip archive stuffed with attacker tools like Mimikatz and sysinternal's proc dump for the next stages of the attack, which any good AV product should pick up on shit like that by now. If it doesn't, you're just running silence, and which focuses
Wait,
on
are you saying Mimikatz?
yeah.
Oh no, I couldn't name one antivirus that can pick up all 7 different methods of executing Mimikatz. I don't think one can.
Okay.
I mean, because you can still execute it over RDP. AV's not going to touch that shit.
Because that's all network traffic.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm wrong, but I meant if you pull down a local binary for Mimikatz, it should pick that up, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
In the zip file with Mimikatz.exe in it, the exact one that's on GitHub.
Yeah, I mean, if you pull down the exact one off of Git, you do no renaming, no changing of the bits. Yeah, you're going to get hit every time. But if you change just a couple small things, yeah, it's going to bypass every antivirus.
All right. So TrickBot is another one. It implants. I'm sorry, 1 second. Ryuk is another one, rather, and it enters networks via the banking Trojan TrickBot. I've actually come across one of these where the customer got TrickBot and then they got Ryuk. So I remember this. Ryuk is going to check in to a C2 server and pull down commands and run and do all that fun stuff. This article sucks. Why did I put this article in here? Anyway, their stuff. They did a survey and it found some stuff, and that stuff is not useful. And this article's stupid, and I shouldn't have put it in here. And that's that.
Okay, what's next?
Use MFA.
Yes. Facebook sues Namecheap over domains.
This
I
is not me.
think we
Is
covered
this
that last week.
With the hologlyphs or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
The Unicode homoglyphs or
Yeah,
so
that.
Hama something.
yeah,
Homoglyphs or something.
There's a load of crap what Facebook's doing.
Well, so they're suing Namecheap because of they've got Namecheap has basically registered several domain names, on the rest of people buying them, which
Are they going to
like,
sue Azure for hosting malware sites?
well, the names are like Facebook login and things like that, which they have said there's no obvious abuse, so Facebook is going to sue them because they haven't bothered to get a court order to say, yeah, this is actually be taken down or like that. Facebook's tried to get them to give the personal information of those who have actually registered domains, but of course they've got WhoIsGuard, so you can't see it. And Namecheap has said, no, fuck you, go get a court order, or actually have good faith in this, and we will work with you on it. But so far
Are the domains that Facebook is suing over public?
See, they gave 3 in the article, which I don't know if those are like actual things listed, which is InstagramBusinessHelp.com, Facebook-login.com, and WhatsApp-download.site. That may actually be an actual website, but I mean, if it's got obvious abuse, then yeah, they should be working with it, but we don't know. But
because by default, Namecheap does tend to do basic, doesn't let you register a lot of the more obvious lookalike domain names.
yeah. So it also could be a case too of where they're registering websites for criticism of Facebook or other services, and Facebook's trying to bully Namecheap into giving that personal information up so they can sue them or track them down or whatever. And
Namecheap
no
tries to bill itself as a bit more private registrar.
Yep.
So yeah, at least at face value, fuck Facebook here.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out because I mean there could actually be something behind it, but we don't know so far. One thing I do like though, near the end of the article, the CEO of Namecheap, Richard Kirkendall, put some pretty good fire on Facebook. It's yeah, Facebook may be willing to tread all over their customers' privacy on their own platform. In this case, it appears they want other companies to do it for them with their own customers. This is just another attack on privacy and due process in order to strong-arm companies that have services like WhoisGuard and intend to protect millions of internet users' privacy. So, that's some shots fired there.
Yeah, unfortunately, Facebook's the company that has money and the
Well,
pricey lawyers.
yeah, but they're going to go for a lawsuit and see how that goes out. So, wait and see how that happens.
Yeah.
It's really hard to register one of those domains anyway. It's not easy like it used to be. I've tried. Like I just for shits and giggles at my job, I put in the name of my company, and I used Irongeek's whatever you say generator, and I put different variations of my company. I tried to register them all with different registrars. Nobody would take them. They all rejected them.
Was that recently or a while ago?
That was like 4 months ago.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you get past input validation, you can see it working.
Some of them didn't have input validation. I found some sketchy registrar who was like, "Yeah, we'll register anything," and they didn't register that. They refunded my money after a week. I'm like, sorry, we couldn't register.
Well, they registered it, but then they reviewed it, so you would have had a week to pull off whatever you were going to do. Like, did you have access to that domain for that week?
I didn't have access to the control panel until they essentially said, "Yep."
Well, too, does like that information go up to like ICANN, and then ICANN can put like a no, throw the kibosh on it?
No idea.
Liz,
They could, but ICANN tends to stay out of a lot of that stuff because it's not their place.
Yeah.
I mean, ICANN will act if registrar keeps doing things in bad faith. They've actually pulled registrar certs for a few in the past, but usually they tend to stay out because unless there's obviously an obvious case of, hey, someone's not doing their fucking job.
Yeah. Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. We are through that info data stats side. Vulnerable stuff. Cappy, did you add on the SMB Ghost?
Yeah, so
Okay, cool.
if you don't know about this, it dropped yesterday. So yesterday was Patch Tuesday.
No. I think next Tuesday is. And that's why this is so big.
I thought it was always second week is Patch Tuesday.
It is.
And this
Some
is
of the
second week
forums
of the
I
month.
was on said that it was going to be available till next Tuesday. Interesting. Okay.
Well,
maybe it was patched.
it's always been second week of every month is Windows Patch Tuesday. That is their dev cycle. That is how it's always been. Regardless. So that ZDNet article there, I'll go through it real quick. Details about new SMB wormable bug leak in Microsoft Patch Tuesday snafu. So an SMB vulnerability is currently not patched, but now everyone knows it's there. So the details about a new wormable vulnerability in Microsoft's server message block, also known as SMB protocol, have accidentally leaked online today, and this was posted yesterday.
Get your fuzzers out.
You might not have to after I get to the GitHub link. So the security flaw is tracked as CVE 2020-0796, is not included with this month's March 2020 Patch Tuesday updates, and it's unclear when it will be patched. To go into this vulnerability, it's a buffer overflow in SMB v3. According to Fortinet, the bug was described as a buffer overflow vulnerability in Microsoft SMB servers and received a maximum security rating. So that's a 10. You don't want to score that, ever. Microsoft continually raises the bar on how many times a company can do that without going under. The vulnerability is due to an error when the vulnerable server handles a maliciously crafted compressed data packet. Fortinet said a remote unauthenticated attacker can exploit this to execute arbitrary code within the context of the application, that application being SMB protocol. And that is directly from Fortinet. A similar description was also posted later in a Cisco Talos blog post. The company said that, quote, the exploitation of this vulnerability opens up systems to a, quote, wormable attack, which means it would be easy to move from victim to victim, end quote. Malware Hunter team also said, great, ... and cried laughing. So the article goes into a little bit more detail on it. I'm going to show you why this is an issue and also probably why we're going to see POC of it come out very soon here. It actually looks pretty simple on how this is supposed to happen, but it kind of gets into a little bit of mathematical zones in terms of like entropy and compression, which thankfully enough, if you went to SecKC and you live in in the KC area, we actually had a talk on this yesterday, so it really fit. So if you go to that, go to that GitHub link from Ollie Pone, who posted a scanner of it. It's not an RCE. It's similar to the, if you'll remember back when Bluekeep dropped, it's similar to that where Metasploit had a scanner just to audit and verify that it was there, just so that you could say, hey, this is vulnerable. We checked it. Here you go fix it when there's a patch available. At this point, there's only a workaround, and he also posts that in the README of the GitHub as well. So I'm actually going to share my screen real quick, and we shall see how this goes. All right. So I'm going to make it a little bigger here. All right. So this is a quick and easy Python script. We can kind of go through this string here. So this is that packet. So what it's doing is it's sending a packet that looks to be compressed. Now this compressed packet has zeros and one, just a bunch of zeros, little bit of data here and there throughout it, and it will say, okay, do this, do that, all that other stuff. So what happens is, from what I understand, since this is a quote-unquote compressed packet, when SMB goes to try and inflate this, it will put things in the incorrect spot, or it will allow you to put stuff in there that shouldn't be there. So for instance, the check here is to look at either 68 or the bytes from 68 to 70. And if it sees these 2 bytes here, it will say, all right, this is not vulnerable. If it sees 02 or 00 at bytes from 70 to 72, it is also not vulnerable. If it's in any other spot or those flags don't go off, it is there. I don't know at this point, since this came out yesterday and a POC was already dropped and the scanner was already dropped, that could be an issue. Now also, oops, wrong button. Also, within the GitHub repository, they Ollie Pone put out a Wireshark, a PCAP that I was able to open in Wireshark. So let me get that up real quick. So essentially, what you really need to focus on within these packets is right in here. And you guys can't see that pop up because it's in a different screen. Let me fix that real quick here. Wireshark follow TCP string. All right, and you guys can now see that string. Now I have it in hex, so if you just look at it in ASCII, this is your compressed packet that you sent to the SMB server. When it is grabbed from the server and it's uncompressed, all of this stuff comes in. So within here, there is a way that you are able to put from either position or somewhere in these positions in your packet, in whatever byte position this is in, you are able to put in your code. My thought right now is you're going to be able to put it somewhere in between here and overflow from about here-ish. in terms of the byte strings, actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So somewhere in here, right before these nope spots, right before there's no data, I'm assuming that there's a buffer overflow vulnerability in here that will actually run your own code. As far as I know. Granted, there have been a couple of people that I've seen post this on Twitter that they have a working RCE exploit that they have not released yet, and I'm seeing those come in today. And yeah, so we're probably going to see someone much smarter than I am figure out how to do this. So at this point, it's just figuring out, okay, what bytes do I need to send that will decompress into run PowerShell, run go grab my code, whatever, or run C# for that matter. So big tangent there.
You should get it, give it to me so that I can do bad things.
No.
But I want to do bad things.
Then go mug a store. I don't know. Hi, Charles, who just joined as I say that.
Speaking of mugging a store, oh, hey, Charles.
Hey.
The bandit has shown up.
The bandit is here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Charles.
You know.
All right. No, that's pretty much for SMB Ghost. We'll probably be talking about it as the weeks progress, and I think it was what was Bluekeep? It was like a month or so before we had publicly available POC for it. No, it was like 2 months.
Yeah.
Because it was right after one of my IR engagements got hit with it before it was fully released.
Nice.
Yeah, or at least fully accessible.
That's always fun.
And I'm not an exploit dev. I'm just saying this is probably, from what I know theoretically, this is how it's going to happen. That's where you're going to want to inject your code. So.
Bum,
But Charles knows exploit dev.
Yes.
Charles, actually, I'll bring this back up. So, since I know you...
Cappy always puts up for Charles.
Actually, Liz, and I know you two have OSCP.
Having an OSCP does not mean you know how to reverse engineer anything more than the very, very basic buffer overflow.
Lies, Liz. Lies.
But you know the basic concept. Therefore,
jump ESP, man.
Therefore, you guys will have a better, and you've done it, and you will have a better understanding than I do right now, because I have never written a buffer overflow exploit to this degree. Where's follow? Oh my god, why are you so dumb sometimes, Jitsi? Let's see. Is it this one? No. Alright, we'll just do screen one. Alright. So, by looking at this packet, and I wonder if I can zoom in. Ooh, god, that made it look way worse.
Holy shit.
Alright, let me
I'm seeing no video one sec.
Yeah, let me fix that real quick. So, this is a Ghost, or SMB Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Send and receive for an SMB3 packet. And within here, there is a buffer overflow exploit that can lead to RCE. Looking at this, and also I have some prior knowledge of the code that is checking this. What do you see as an issue? Also, this is a compressed packet that is then inflated by SMB.
I see a lot of null bytes.
So like right in here.
Yeah.
I see zero video streaming, so I don't see any pictures, so I can answer the question.
All right.
I see a lot of null bytes, and then after that last null byte is the actual letter A, 41.
Mm-hmm.
Null byte. Let's see.
We have
And
We have
I also see a carriage return.
Yep. Now, granted, this is in the scanner, so I don't know exactly what is being sent on. Well, it's actually right here.
And that's just me looking at like the characters from the shell code characters. Op codes.
Yep. Yeah. So my immediate thought is fill up this buffer somehow and overwrite and like nopslet it and then overwrite something.
Yep. Nop. That's what I used to call it.
Nop.
Because
this is the protocol. I know this is the protocol. Actually, where is SMB? Yeah, Wait, no. Oh my god. My Unicode is failing me. So we have SMB, right? Yeah. You have SMB and then you have at. So then that's service header. Or those are instructions. Okay. I need to look at my ASCII tables again. Gonna need to. But it's going to be there he goes. He's gonna go write that exploit now. All right, so that's pretty much SMB Ghost in a nutshell. So we'll keep following that as stuff progresses. All right, so is on. Israel, you threw in a tweet.
Finally.
There we go. From Tavis Ormandi. Do you want to go through that real quick? I've got the code pulled up. I'm just running through it real quick.
What are you doing, jumping jacks over there, Charles?
Huh?
So yeah, Tavis posted this on here. So he went into Avast, their kind of localized security product, and found that they were running a localized sandbox, and it runs as system. So and the sandbox is essentially written in Java. He pulled the sandbox out and threw it in Linux and threw it up on GitHub too, so other people can download it and start working against it and seeing what vulnerabilities exist on there.
I thought it was a custom JavaScript interpreter.
JavaScript. But yeah, so you can pull that down, start, messing with it, playing with it, and potentially find some areas of weakness that can be exploited, especially since it does run as system on Windows. Yeah.
Okay, testing.
Running a system, what could go wrong?
Yeah, nothing.
Everything.
But yeah, it is kind of interesting though, having a sandbox that runs as system, or a debugger that's running as system.
Elevate.
Yeah, you definitely would want to have that in a isolated environment, which a normal computer is not.
Run everything as root. The Cali way.
Everything.
Well, not anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I still haven't updated any of my stuff. I still like running my traditional way.
I mean, you can set it up just to have everything run as root.
Yeah. That'll take me updating and taking hours to update all my stuff at some point.
I wonder if my
move
Docker
all those
images
API
are gonna
keys over.
die. I wonder what's going to happen to my Docker container that is the full Linux install.
Are those
Kali
really
install?
Are those really Razer headphones, or do you just take a Sharpie to the regular headphones and write Razer
No,
on them?
they're Razer.
Dang. That's harsh.
Yeah, they're Razer.
Oh my goodness. Woo! Wonderful Wednesday. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So now I have 2 projects to work. 4, but I will talk about those other 2 at a further date. All right.
Just fixed video streaming.
What's that?
Just fixed the video streaming in my end now. But a little late. So.
It's all
It's all good. All right. Next up, we have weekly security bulletin for March 2nd, 2020.
Skip it.
You notice I'm wearing a Mario thing today. That's why, because I'm flying above all this madness.
I'm just wearing a Mustang shirt, even though I do not own a Mustang.
Not yet.
Oh yeah, might.
Wait,
Really
don't you have a charger?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that kind of like sacrilege?
I know. Doesn't it piss you off?
Wait, now
Not really. They both suck.
I go down 65 down to Nashville. Takes about a 3-hour drive. About halfway along the way, is that a Mustang museum or some other kind of museum?
In Indiana?
It'd be in Kentucky by that point.
Kentucky.
KY.
I don't know actually where it is.
Wow. You know why you don't give everyone admin rights?
I assume you're about to tell us.
I just did.
Oh my!
Wow. I just saw that. Wow. Really? We are acting up. Boy, the coronavirus got people going crazy.
Motherfucking now I got over click on the YouTube.
Wait, I'm not in front of my computer. What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on?
Oh my god!
Apparently,
The whole fucking stream, you bitch.
apparently all you hear is.
Wait, so now is the YouTube still going? That's why I got it.
Yes.
Yes.
It appears to be.
Damn it, T.
Hey, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
You are wild.
Oh my gosh. He wants Darren and Adrian to drive up to New York with brass knuckles.
Oh my god.
Nah, just send them to New Rochelle.
Yeah, my brother lives in New Rochelle. He's been posting memes about this shit all day.
What is New Rochelle? Oh, is that where the coronavirus is breaking out?
Yeah. Home of Ray Rice, the lady beater.
Lady eater?
Beater.
Oh, beater. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd rather be a lady eater, honestly.
Yeah, that would be the safest way.
It depends on how literally you take that.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So, Adrian, I can't find your video about lockpicking. Did you take it down?
No, it's still up there, but bitches keep commenting on it. Was at level 1, and I'm assuming it got posted some place by a certain person we know, and I got people commenting and be like, "Right, yeah, I fucked up on picking some of the locks. Eat shit and die, move on."
Is it on your channel?
Yes.
I don't fucking see it.
I don't know.
It's from this year, I assume?
No, it's not 2015.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that I saw.
People are weird, man. People are weird.
We must destroy them all.
Ooh.
The coronavirus must destroy. It must cull the weak.
Is the one at Aid?
No, it's the one at level 1.
Next time, Gadget.
LVL1 or something like that.
And David, I agree. I also think it is the Corvette Museum.
Yeah.
Yo, yeah, that's the one in Kentucky, the Corvette Museum. That's
Yeah.
one in Kentucky.
And you know here,
I
it's
drive
probably
past
3-4 years ago, a lot of the floor imploded, and it was something like 10, 12 Corvettes went down into the sinkhole. it was interesting.
Oh hell, that just showed my fat ass on video. Shit.
Hey, your fat ass has been on video for a while. Good thing
Yeah.
you didn't start jacking off or something.
Hell, I was about to.
Oh,
You talk
Well-
sexy to
well,
me, Frank?
I mean,
Say
Charles
something-
did jump on,
Say
so
something seductive.
you know what? I heard that.
man.
I heard that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh god.
Hey Charles, be sure to tell your wife hi on behalf of us, okay?
Right. Something like
Will do.
the COVID-19 virus is out there, but I got a full cabinet of ramen noodles. Come on over, baby.
Oh God. Hey, so what is up with all these cancellations?
Large groups of large people meeting. Because right now the big issue is that there's still that upward trend, right? On a bell curve, we're still upward trending, and we don't have a median or a we're not seeing a downturn yet, and
Right.
they're trying to get it to the point where we're starting to see that downturn and actually see deaths associated to infection, start to reduce more. Initial infections start to reduce, and that comes by washing your hands, not touching your face, not putting masks over your face. Actually wash your hands. So at the beginning of the show, we discussed I went to Costco and bought some toilet paper. I couldn't buy the Costco brand of toilet paper because I go to Costco like once every 2 months. I was out of dog food, time to go to Costco. So completely sold out of Costco toilet paper toilet paper. So I had to buy like I don't know, Charmin or whatever the other one is. But Costco's enacting
Butt cutters.
two things of toilet paper per person, or per cart, I think.
Wow.
Not necessarily per person. 2 things of water, 2 things of paper towels. But I posted something online last night, and a friend of mine asked, "What's going on with the toilet paper?" I said, "People are just too lazy to wash their hands, or they want any reason to not have to wash their." I have no clue why everybody's freaking out about toilet paper, but
I guess they really don't want to be in a quarantine situation without toilet paper.
I've seen.
I saw a video of these 2 women with
Me
a big
too.
old shopping, or maybe you may have posted it.
Yeah.
And they probably had 8 packs of toilet paper, and each pack probably would have had 12, 16 rolls in it. It's like, whoa,
They were
really?
wrestling over toilet paper. I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "I have to post this."
And then there's the other end of the extreme where I'm thinking people say you don't need toilet paper at all. You can just shit in the tub and wipe your ass there.
Oh.
And it's just the people. It's just disgusting.
Those people sound like either hippies or vegans or both to me. So
Oh no, you didn't.
It depends on how firm your poops are. It depends on dietary. Like, you get enough fiber. I mean, depending on what I'm eating, there's less wiping required than other times.
I mean, it's just like a hurricane. People buy all the eggs and milk and bread because that shit will go bad. So, if you're going to be quarantined or if you want to be stuck in a house, you're going to buy what you need to, be stuck in a house.
Oh yeah, that is true. Whenever we were shopping on Saturday, eggs were pretty low. So yeah, people are definitely buying up the eggs, and we never buy milk or really bread all that much, so I didn't notice that. But yeah, eggs were definitely low.
I am a bit concerned about. You mentioned the bell curve earlier. Like I got an email from my general practice doctor like half an hour ago. It was saying guidance regarding the coronavirus. And the content of the email was entirely about the guidance they got from the CDC, which said test for getting the flu, treat it as if it's the flu. You have the flu, don't worry. And it's kind of like, I would have been more comfortable had they not sent out the email at all. Now I'm just kind of pissed off they're doing a bait and switch.
I mean, do they even have a true test that detects it yet?
Yes, absolutely. It's
Okay.
a nose swab.
Oh, really?
That's my understanding.
Interesting. I hadn't seen that they had a confirmed positive test.
Well, I mean,
that they could 100% confirm that it was.
I don't know.
The new strand.
I don't know how reliable the test is, but I have not heard anyone say the test that China and South Korea and all these other countries around the world have been giving are not confirmatory.
Has there been any feedback on whether or not this is genetically engineered, or like, if I wanted to genetically engineer a disease to take out soy boys, not that I would, but let's just say I did want to. I mean, is there any evidence that this is genetically engineered?
Everything is genetically engineered.
I mean, I wouldn't even know how you would test for that, really. I mean,
There'd be markers in it if it was genetically engineered, because there's just most things that are genetically engineered, especially if it's using gene splicing, there's usually markers inside of it. But if it's like just
what about crayons?
Okay,
like if I want to pick out everything that's not a hedgehog or a raccoon, is that possible? Not that I would.
Very unlikely. So take Ebola, for example. Ebola is very, very deadly, but it's also very hard to transmit. It's also very, very weak. You really can't have something that's very violent, but also very deadly. It just, most things don't work that way in the virology world.
Except for the coronavirus, apparently.
In the what world?
Virology.
Oh yeah.
Urology?
No.
Virology, as in viruses.
Oh, that's better than urology.
Yeah. Initially, I thought you said urology. I was like, what?
Well, I actually had a conversation about this with a couple people, just thinking, what was it was timed way too well. It's just suspiciously timed. So, what was going on in China before we were talking about coronavirus?
Sex, drugs, rock and roll.
Hong Kong?
No.
Yeah, I guess
Or
Hong Kong.
In Hong Kong, what was going on?
The
protest.
revolution. Yeah.
Revolution!
And now a giant, unmanaged disease starts popping up.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing we've known
Raises eyebrows.
so far is it actually did come from a lab, but we don't know if they were building it or studying it or
There's no
quarantining
came
it
from a
or
lab.
what.
Like, what evidence do we have it came from the lab? A lot of those theories came from the lab's proximity.
I think we've actually had like concrete proof that it actually did come from a lab in was it
The news is still
Wuhan,
saying
yeah.
it was from a bat.
Like, there's been news saying it's from a bat, another one says from a pangolin, and then
Did you say a penguin?
pangolin.
Oh.
The lizard thing.
Yeah, like lizards.
And then the theory that it came from...
It's a lizard that
biotech
was in a
lab.
courthouse, and the courthouse got knocked down, and 37 years later, the lizard was there, but it was sleeping.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal.
But I don't even know how. Like, they came to the conclusion it must have been a bat. Like how long into this whole thing did it say it was a bat? It was definitely bat soup. Like,
I don't know. I think it mostly. I don't think that was ever confirmed. I think this became a meme, and that's part of the whole Piranha Chan.
Well, I mean, no, the Chinese government, I believe, mentioned that. I was kind of curious. How would they have been able to conclusively attribute that?
I think it's now been realized it actually it originally came from a bat or a pangolin, like the original, like before it was in the lab, like the original source of it. Kind of like how Ebola came, I think, from monkeys, was it, or something like that? So
Yeah. Yes.
That's
Liz is
batshit
totally
crazy.
safe because Liz, very few diseases pass from lizards to humans, so we're okay with you. We also don't plan on eating.
Salmonella does pass between lizards and humans.
What does?
Salmonella.
Oh shit. Okay. Nobody lick Liz at the next conference. Not that I was planning.
yeah, reptiles tend to be big carriers of salmon. That's why if you have a turtle or whatever, you wash your hands religiously.
Same thing as a bearded dragon. It's a good
You want to
protection
see my
against the
bearded dragon?
No. Even if they are, say indoors, not exposed, outdoor, anything like that, they still have that higher probability for disease.
Outdoors, I don't know because of exposure to UV, but it's with the conditions they live in because they live in a lot of wet conditions,
Yeah.
and their bodies just tend to I don't want to say accumulate, but tend to give good breeding ground for salmonella.
Interesting.
It's just the surface of the skin. Just don't kiss your lizard. Yes, I'm well aware of the euphemism.
No hypnotoad licking.
By the way, Frank, thanks for the comment on my fucking video. Shit.
Comment?
Don't worry about it. Anyways, before we
Okay.
go further on into this, we are done with the show notes, Adrian. We don't have anything in other stuff, so
All right.
and I know you're not feeling the greatest, so take it away.
I will stop the stream and we will leave the chat going for a bit, and hopefully to see you all next week. And I'm going to go pass out someplace. Have a good evening and see you next Wednesday.
Have a good night.
Have a good one.
Wash your hands.
Later.
Yes.